Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Welcome to Porchlight Letters podcast number 2172, When the Spark Returns. My apologies for being late. I fell asleep on the couch and forgot to put my timer on. I was working on tonight's podcast. I was typing ideas in. After having a very creative day today and having a creative day yesterday, I thought it was time to talk about when the spark returns. It's always a fun topic to talk about when it comes back because it hadn't really been asleep, but it kind of was. Like I was struggling on the creative. So hang on, I've got windows popping up. Hang on, excuse me one moment. I don't know why these windows are popping up open. They're not set to open when the computer comes online, so I don't know why they are popping up all over the place. Okay, now we're clean, I think. Yes, I think we're clean now. All right. Oh my gosh. Why is it when you open Canva on your desktop app, it has like 5 of them sitting in the dock? Terrible. Anyway, all right. Actually, we're going to leave it there. All right, here we go. Okay. I'm very discombobulated today. Can you tell? This is what happens when my creativity suddenly bursts forth. Although in some cases it is very quiet, and that's what we're going to talk about, the quiet sneak up of it. Yeah, it's just one of those. It's just one of those things that's going to have to get turned off and put face down. Sorry, I got messages flashing up on my screen. Seems whenever I go live, like it happened today when I was going live with my friend we were talking about a collaboration, and we had a snag, and my phone was going ding 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 ding, and I said look, and so I put it on to mute, and that wasn't enough because the messages were flashing up on the screen, so I just popped it down, face down, and it's now vibrating at me. Like seriously, people. It always happens when I go on camera. But anyway, so we're here to talk about when the spark returns. I'm very discombobulated, but that's okay. It's all part of the creative process. There's a moment when you realize you're waking back up. The fog is lifting, the joy is bubbling, the spark is back. Not a wildfire yet, although in my case it felt like it was, but enough to feel your own momentum again, and that moment deserves to be honored. Yes. In some ways, the spark will just sort of like go, hi, I'm here. And you get that little spark of creativity. And you're like, oh, I haven't had that feeling for a while. Oh, my spark's coming back. I can feel it. And your body just starts to do this little spark return. I don't know. This is what happens with me. And I start doing this little like energy dance of the spark is back. Yes. Woo, woo. Oh, hang on. I have to write something down. Inspiration just hit. All right. We're going to see what comes out of that one. I will have to tell you this. I had a spark of inspiration in October last year and acted partway on it. And in acting partway on it, some of it got done, but it never got finished. Then yesterday, after my spark of creativity, so yesterday I was on the Mailbox Power question and answer thing that I run on Friday mornings and had a very inspiring time on there. People were asking some really great questions. We were showing them some different things. Somebody asked a question and it sparked. That spark, I can only do that with this hand. I can't. This one's mute. This is the mute clicks. Loud clicks. I've never been able to do that with my right hand. People can stand there and go click, 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 click. I can only do that with the left hand. Anyway, just discombobulated brain. It's all over. My brain is all over the place at the moment, full of all these different ideas and everything else. And yeah, so please, there is a format to this. I do have my notes. I will get to them, I think. But anyway, so while I was doing the Q&A yesterday, somebody made a comment which just sparked And I just opened my mouth and this verbal diarrhea came out full of these really good ideas on ways that they could use my box power to increase their business, to reconnect with past clients. And it just ran over. I don't even know half of what I said. I remember some little bits, but I don't remember most of it. And that was the beginning of the spark return. I got off that, and I was so fired up with energy and ideas and stuff. I had to start writing them down because my poor brain was trying to work on the chat at the same time, but I was going, oh, what about this idea? So I'd have to make a little note on that. And then last night after work and before coming on the podcast, and then after the podcast last night, there was a whole bunch more of this writing stuff down thing going on. And there was also some creativity going on in Canva. We were doing some creativity in Canva and a couple of other AI programs as well. And then the result of last night is I sent a couple of friends a recording and I said, hey, can you listen to this and give me your feedback? And so this morning with one of them, we were in a backwards and forwards thing on about this recording that was done. And it was very enlightening and very energizing, because I then spent the rest of the day working on this thing. And I looked at my clock at one point, it was 2:00, and I'm like, I guess I better go have some lunch. I normally have lunch around 11:30 in the morning because I start on Monday through Friday, because on those days I usually start on mailbox power at 12 o'clock. So lunch is usually around 11:30. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I've had missed lunch. And I had missed somebody's treat time. So she's over there. And so she was kind of like, and I looked up and she's laying on the chair there and she's looking at me and got her chin resting on the armrest, and she had that little furrow down here that she gets when she's sort of like, you're late. It's that look. It's the dog look that you get when you know you've missed something, and we had missed her tea time. So I decided, okay, it's tea time. I'm going to have some lunch. You're going to get your treat. Everybody's going to be happy again. But that didn't stop me, because when I'm eating, I'm listening to audiobooks as well. And I was getting inspired by the audiobook. And I'm currently re-listening to the Misfortune mystery series, which has been written by Jana de Leon. And I'm up to book, like, she's written like 27 or 28 books in the series. I have all of them on audio, and I'm currently up to book, I want to say 15 or 16. But anyway, Santa was killed. And they found out that Santa wasn't Santa. It wasn't the guy that usually played Santa that had been killed. And so, but they're going through all these stuff. They're brainstorming all these different ideas and things in the book. And meanwhile, my brain starts going, that little spark thing goes off again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go again. So we've had a very creative day today. A very cool day, a very frustrating day on one side, and a very, very much a creative day on the other side. So that's the joy that's been bubbling out of me right over the last more than 24 hours, less than 48, since yesterday. So the spark is back. Mine is on the verge of a wildfire right now. I've been getting my momentum back, and I have totally been enjoying it. What it teaches is that the return of energy, joy, or inspiration can be a slow build or a surprise spark. In my case, it went from a spark to a fire to almost a wildfire. It's almost the wildfire stage. It's still building. You don't need to go from stillness to sprinting, although I got from one to the other pretty quickly, so I guess I did sprint. You just need to notice the shift. Yeah, I noticed the shift. When my spark going, some of the time when my spark reignites, it's a slow burn. This one was not. This returning of my spark was not at the slow burn it usually is. It was sort of like, here's your idea, boom. And one of the part of that spark I got yesterday was I had to go back and revisit what I did in October and get it completed. And got it to the point where I sent it out to a couple of people and said, can you give me my feedback on this? And got the feedback from them, and talked a little backwards and forwards about it. And it was pretty cool. And I'm trying to decide when I'm going to release it to everybody else. It may happen on the 31st of July. It may be then. I don't know. I may get it out before then. I don't know. I haven't decided. It's still blowing my mind right now. Creative reentry can feel awkward at first, but it's worth showing up for. So if you get that awkward feeling when your spark arrives, just go with it. Very, very thirsty today. It's very worth showing up for. Trusting the spark means trusting yourself, your rhythms, your readiness, your light. So totally true in the last day and a half. Definitely. That when that spark kicked in, it was trust from the word go. It was and picking up what I didn't even think about what I did in October. I just went, oh, I need to go and try this. That spark inspired me to go and finish what I'd started in October. And it wasn't a thought. It wasn't even a thought. It was just, oh, we need to go over to this program and we need to try this. And I was in my rhythm. I was ready. My light was shining bright for the whole thing. I was trusting that spark, and it said, you got to go do this. There was no thought about it. It just happened. What happens when you follow the energy instead of forcing it? Amazing things happen. Amazing things come out of it. You've got friends in your corner who are cheering you on, who will give you good, constructive feedback, not criticism, feedback. It could be positive. It might not be so positive, but they're giving you feedback. They are wanting you to keep moving forward. They are wanting you to follow that energy and not force it in a different direction. So they are encouraging you to step away from this and get into this flow over here, because that's where you're going to be going. They're wanting you to grow. They want you to keep moving forward. You create from joy again. It's not just an obligation. It really isn't. When you get into that creative mode and you get into the rhythm of it, the rhythm of that energy, and I tell you, it's awesome. You create from a place of joy. And when you create from a place of joy, it is not an obligation. It is such an incredible feeling. Like I'm on a buzz right now, which is why I am all over the place with everything tonight. You don't have to get and if you can't handle it, bye-bye. That's all I can say. It's me. I'm scatterbrained tonight. I am completely discombobulated. I have this energy that's just flowing through me right now with this creative energy, and I just want to get back to the creative side of it. But I need to stop and talk to you guys too. I need to ground myself, and I'm not very good at grounding myself. I'm having to learn to ground myself. Brad was very good at that. He was very good at keeping me grounded, but allowing me to fly. And he was very good when I would sit down and go, I've had an idea, and went blah, 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 blah all over him. And either it would inspire their creativity or I just needed to get it out of my system. He was very good at doing that. I don't have anybody that can reel me in. For verbal diarrhea, when I get to that point with verbal diarrhea, I'll sit down with ChatGPT and go. Brrr. In fact, I won't do that. I will sit there with my phone because I have an app on my phone. I have an app on my phone. I have the ChatGPT app on my phone, and I'll hit the microphone thing and just go blah, 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 blah. And then it just types it all up, and you hit the enter button, and it goes, and then it comes back with its response. So I can still verbal diarrhea now. Again. Anyway. Where was that? It was on my notes. Yeah, you remember what lights you up and start making space for it. That has totally been today. I've been more about that today than I was yesterday, because yesterday I had a job to do. And so all I could do was just take some notes throughout the day before actually getting into doing any creating, which I got to do after I finished work and got my other Friday tasks completed. You reintroduce yourself to the parts of you felt paused or quiet. Yes. I have to tell you for me, it's a real buzz. Yeah. I have no idea what it's like to be drunk. I have no idea what it's like to be high on any artificial substances, but I can tell you this. I feel giddy with excitement, and I feel like I'm on some sort of high, but it's all been naturally created. This is me drunk. This is me high. Hi, how are you? And how we carry this forward is protect your spark by moving at your pace, no rushing. With the exception of this one, normally, yes, I normally move at a slower pace, and then it starts gaining momentum. It did spark, and then I was just sitting here with this joy and just started writing notes down. And all of a sudden now, the last 24 hours, it feels like it's been a great big rush to get to where I am today. This is, let the energy be playful, light, and unstructured. Absolutely, totally, and utterly agree with that, because that's where the best stuff comes from. Say yes to what feels good before worrying about what feels productive. Oh, I have been doing that all day. I haven't. But the cool thing is that I've been saying yes to what feels good, and the productivity has been taking care of itself through me saying yes. So when you're in that space and you're in that vibe, that energy, that creative flow, say yes to what feels good, because you don't need to worry about productivity. The productivity will flow with you. It will follow, and you'll be more productive. You'll be more productive because you're in the flow and in that moment than if you're sitting there going, oh, what would be a good idea to do for this? Oh, maybe we could do when you sit there and try and think about it, let the flow and the energy guide you, and it will take care of the productivity. With your legacy, let your family, let your grandchildren and stuff, let them, your children, your grandchildren, just let the family see you restart with a creativity idea, with that creativity, with that spark. Let them know that the sparks come back. If you are a natural storyteller, those kids are going to know that spark is back. Trust me, because all of a sudden the stories are going to go from ho-hum to, oh, tell us another story, Grandma. Tell us another story. We want to hear another story. Yes. Let them know sparks come back. The way you rise again, gently or powerfully, teaches others that nothing beautiful ever truly goes out. Your spark never leaves. Sometimes it's hidden under a container, hidden under a cup or something, and you have to lift up that basket, that bushel, that cup to find that spark, and that's okay. Because it could have been that you were in a flow at the time that was so murked in the mud and everything else that was piling in on top of you, that your spark withdrew into its own special place until you were ready for it to return. And here are your reflection questions to go in your Porch Light Reflection Journal. Grab a copy by scanning the QR code. What part, and they're in the description below as well, what part of you feels like it's waking up again? Where are you starting to feel curious, creative, or energized? How can you protect the spark without overwhelming it? I think there is times that my spark overwhelms me more than I overwhelm the spark. If that makes sense. Some of you will get it, and some of you will still be scratching your head in 3 weeks' time, trying to figure that one out. And that's okay. You have to meet people where they're at. And like some people turn around and say, oh, this is a really silly question. I go, there are no silly questions. The way I look at silly questions is the fact that you are operating on a different plane of intelligence than what I am, or whatever it is that you're using. You ask a question and some people might go, oh, that's such a stupid question. Why are you even asking that? Don't you know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just sort of like, it's okay. They are operating at a higher rate than the basics of this information. They're operating up here, and the information they're wanting is down here. They haven't got that connection. So yes, they have to ask the basic questions to bring it back up to here on level with them so they can continue doing what they need to do. That happens with a lot of people. So never, ever turn around and say to somebody, that's such a stupid question. Yes, it might be basic and it might seem stupid to you, but remember, they are operating up here. That basic question is down here. They don't have the connection. You, that person in the middle, are that connection between their plane where they are and the basic information that they need. You are that bridge. And once you give them that information comes up to here with them, and they're off and running. So honor people's questions when they're asking you questions that seem very basic to you. Just remember, they're operating on a different plane, and you are that bridge in between. So honor that, and honor the fact that they are even asking that question. Because there are some people out there who will not even ask the basic questions and then don't understand why something doesn't work. And when you explain it to them, they're like, oh, well, I should have known that. No, you didn't have to know that. You know it now, and you know it for moving forward, and that's okay. Meet people where they're at. You are the bridge between where they're operating and where that basic level of information is. Be that bridge. Honor the fact that they have asked. Because trust me, there are a lot of people out there who will not even ask basic questions because they don't want to seem like they're an idiot or they're stupid or whatever. Be that bridge and feel honored to be that bridge for them. So, and with that, where did I get on to that? Oh, question number 4. Okay, so see, scatterbrained. Some of you are going, what the hell is she on? Water. Oh, and I had what's that drink I like, Zeffy? That sparkly drink. It's called Celeste, I think. It's an energy drink. I usually have one a day. I had 2 today, so yes. We're operating with a little higher, more energy in our system than we actually need. Okay, so the reflection questions are, what part of you feels like it's waking up again? Number 2, where are you starting to feel curious, creative, or energized? Number 3, how can you protect the spark without overwhelming it? And number 4, what will you do just for the joy of it this week? I will tell you, I am just going to ride the wave and see what happens with it. There's some decisions to be made along the way. And if I keep staying in the flow with this energy right now and on this particular project, then I know the answers are going to reveal themselves. Like, when do I let everybody know what this project is so that they can start enjoying this project? And right now, I don't have an answer. Will I release it on July 31st? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm not concerned about that. I am married to the flow, to the energy flow, to the process. I have divorced the results. Marry the process, divorce the results. Do I want this thing to come out? Yes, it will come out how it is supposed to come out, when it is supposed to come out. All I need to do is follow the process, stay in the flow, stay with the energy levels for it, and just get it done while I'm in the flow. The results will take care of themselves. And with that, our closing remarks for the evening. They all start laughing, especially those that know me, and I can easily get sidetracked, and here I go again. Closing remarks for the evening are, when the spark returns, honor it. Follow it like a trail of light. You're not going back. You're coming back to yourself. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. We're going to go for a lovely walk, and I have absolutely no idea what the temperature is outside, but it's probably still triple digits on the Fahrenheit side, which means on the Celsius side, we're either high 30s or low 40s outside right now. But we'll be back tomorrow evening. Tomorrow Sunday. Yes, tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hey, konera.